industrial park in action?
In action, I'm not able to tell you right away because what we are at the stage where now we gave out the value chains, and we have developed our value chains and come up with investment plans that we've been developing between ourselves and the national government. Now, the national government is currently planning on how we can get the equipment that we need, where we want to do it ourselves or help small business people to come and do value addition, common user facility. They are willing to help us with the equipment for that.
So Governor, for the 500 million, as per that contract, when is it supposed to be delivered? Before we go into the value chains?
We should be completely done in another 2, maximum 3 months, because what's remaining are really exterior works, and there was a whole issue around waste management that hadn't been properly thought through, and that's what also is holding us a little. But we have people who are interested. We have had investor meetings that have been guided through the national government, and we have people very willing to come and start off. In fact, I've signed an MOU with a Chinese company also that wants to come and start off as soon as possible.
So I think, members, this would be a good project to visit.
And Kirinyaga, I think, is even ahead of us in terms of real investors, because I know I think the avocado value chain has somebody already at their industrial park. So yeah, there are a few success stories. We are not yet fully operational, but I believe by mid this year, a lot of these industrial parks will be at least operational.
Fine. So yeah. Members, the issue here was the documentation to support the expenditure. I think we have agreed on how that should be dealt with. We will make recommendations for you to fast track completion and for us also to come and visit. So we can move on to the next issue, which is undisclosed account payables. There was an issue here.
Thank you, Chair. Undisclosed account payables, that issue was not addressed. I wish to prosecute. The statement of financial position reflects current liabilities balance totaling Kenya shillings 1,722,877,451. However, the balance excludes a liability in respect to transfers from special purpose account amount of Kenya shillings 10,167,300, which was borrowed from the special purpose account but was not refunded back to the account. Further, the payables have been classified as current liabilities. However, review of the payment plan forwarded to the Controller of Budget showed that the payables totaling to Kenya shillings 1,429,250,047 were to be settled between the financial years 2026-2027 to 2032-2033, 6 years financial period, which should have been classified as long-term liability. In the circumstances, the accuracy and completeness of the current liabilities balance of Kenya shillings 1,722,877,451 could not be confirmed. I submit.
Governor.
The schedules provided to support the figure 1,429,250,047 payable between 2026-27 to 2032-2033, a 6 years financial period, which should have been classified as non-current liabilities. The observation has been considered and shall be implemented in future reports, while the 10,167,300 was not a borrowing but an inter-account transfer, which was appropriately journalized and authorized. And there's a journal entry in Appendix 2A, Roman 2A.
So there are two issues there. Auditor General, could you tell us your assessment of Appendix 2A and that response by the Governor?
Chair, for the second portion on the issue of the non-current liability, that one can be carried, will be considered in the financial year 2025-26. However, the 10 million, the way it was accounted for, because it is still in their books. One book is showing a receivable while the other one is showing none. It's up to them to do the reconciliation, Chair.
Now, let's speak in English. You have said 10 million was borrowed from the special purpose account but was not refunded back.
Yes, Chair. And in the account, it's showing as a liability, a debt. But in the executive, it has not been disclosed.
So, what is the essence of Appendix 2A? What are you trying to demonstrate with that journal entry? I mean, it can be a piece of paper that was run in River Road. Can you explain it?
Thank you, Chair. Through the Governor, this was a transfer from one special purpose account to the recurrent account. The figure in our financials that indicated the amount transferred from the CRF, this was erroneously included there.
No, wait a minute. Don't confuse us. In this JV, you are debiting the KIPE account with 10.1 million, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
And crediting your recurrent account with the same amount.
Oh, yes.
Where is the entry where you have credited the KIPE's account with a similar amount to confirm that the amount was refunded? Because this JV just confirms what the Auditor General has said. Where is the entry that brought the money back?
Chairman, what we are clarifying is we are dealing with the end of financial year, and we are saying that as that end of financial year, that that inter-borrowing was not refunded. And in our financial statement,
that is what you need
yes,
to either demonstrate or you say we agree with the Auditor General, and therefore we make recommendations.
Because it was inter-borrowing, to collect that, we will do contra entry.
No, this is not a JV. This is not just a JV. This is cash moving from a special purpose account to which the monies deposited are monies appropriated by the Senate. KIPES is a conditional grant. And part of the conditions is for you to open a special purpose account, just like Flocker. Now, what you guys are doing is that when you run out of cash, you go and raid Flocker, you go and raid KIPES, you go and raid KDSP. And this is a classic example.
And what will happen is, after we close the year...
Isn't that, haven't I described the problem here?
You are right.
Is it legal?
It is inter-borrowing. That is part of cash management.
No, it is not cash management. When we are approving money that goes to counties, KIPES is a specific column. And part of the conditions is that we shall open a special purpose account. And that special purpose account, you can't tell us that because you have run out of money for mandazis, let's go and pick from KIPES. We shall return on the day we have money for mandazis. It can't be like that. It can't be argued using account and speak. Governor, you see the folly here. If this was Flocker, you would have been suspended from the program. They've suspended Nyamira, they've suspended Kajiado, they've suspended Kakamega for this thing that you're casually describing as inter-account borrowing. Senator Adulo.
Chair, I don't know whether I see or listen to the auditor, because he was trying to explain something else. She specifically said reconciliations were not done. Maybe what we need to know from him, have they tried to reconcile those figures? Because she was specific when she said the county has not done reconciliation. But he's trying to explain borrowing from here, borrowing from there, and all that. Can he tell us what he has done as far as reconciliation, as the auditor said, is explained?
Auditor?
Thank you, Chair. This paragraph has two issues. The first, reconciliation on the issue of classifying the liabilities has been done into the non-current and the current liabilities. The second bit, which is the first paragraph here, the county borrowed 10 million from KAIP, which is a special purpose, specific project for utilizing that money. However, at the time of audit, this 10 million had not been refunded back to that special account. The borrowing itself, first of all, it was illegal because they ought to have gotten that money from the COB.
So, can we address ourselves with that, Senator?
I think, Chair, that is where the crux of the matter is. Governor, you have told us that your farmers are waiting for this industrial park. How can it be, the way the chair has put it, that you can read that account to finance Mandazi? That's the words that he has used.
We didn't finance Mandazi. That is quite
I
simplistic.
was just borrowing the chair's mouth.
Mandazi will pay with our pockets.
You credited the Embu County recurrent account.
Yeah.
And when I was in the world of finance, JVs had narrations. So there's no narration on this. So it is upon us to make any conclusion for that kind of transfer. Proceed, Senator Sifuna.
Yeah, thank you for the protection. You know, she had said she would not harass me, but without you, very safe. So that is the crux of the matter. If your officer there has acknowledged that there was a problem and the auditor has properly classified it as an illegality, then, Governor, you have an explanation to give the people of Embu. How is it possible that money meant to build an industrial park is being used to finance Mandazi?
This money was actually retention money for the KAIP because it stayed within the SPA account. So we did not touch on the money meant to develop the KAIP. And I think it is very, very important that that goes out, because if that was the case, Chair, I would not be number 2 in the county in implementation of KAIP. If indeed we were...
Governor, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
You're a good politician. You are good in building the vision and painting the picture. But accounts, it is the numbers that matter. Movement of cash, it is what you debit and what you credit. So just pause a bit on the big picture. Let's first deal with the details. The auditor has called it an illegality. But the auditor has also said you should have refunded it. So even if you were to close our eyes to the illegality, was there an entry to refund the money?
The finance officer says that there was plan to refund this money this
There was a
quarter.
plan.
It was supposed to be refunded. There was no way they were not going to refund, but they delayed the refunding. But we are going to make sure it happens
When was the JV raised, transferring the money?
Can you explain? And assure that you are refunding, please.
Officer? Officer, I thought I'm seeing the date here. Why is it taking you long?
This was the date for borrowing.
That was the date for borrowing.
Yes.
Which was?
May.
21st of May.
May, yes.
So when did you intend to refund it?
We were to refund by the close of the year, the same year, June.
Which should have been captured in this financial statement.
Yes, but unfortunately we were not able.
And what did you use this money for, now that you're disputing the Mandazi analogy?
No, we are saying...
So what was the money used for? When you move it to the Embu County recurrent account, what kind of debits do you do there?
maybe I cannot be able to recall now, but
No. Broadly speaking, what kind of withdrawals do you make from the current account? Is it operations? Is it development? Is it salaries?
Let me explain. Chair, around the month of June, we had what we were calling a Buddha Buddha Summit, where we were launching the Buddha Buddha Circle. And he came and told me, we have no money. There's no money yet. There's a delayed exchequer, and the summit was here. And this money we had undertaken to give to the circles. So part of that money went to the circles, and therefore should be refunded in this financial year.
Members, between this and the housewarming,
because there was a delay.
Which one is a bigger sin?
Chair, I think this is worse.
This is worse.
The clarification I needed is 21st of May of which year? 2024? Or this year, last year?
2025.
2025?
Yes.
Governor, how many exchequer releases have you received since that time? And you don't seem bothered that you need to refund this money.
Governor, just 1 minute. We appreciate your honesty.
Yeah, I don't like lying, because you see, if the money didn't go to my pocket,
you actually don't have a choice.
Then I have no reason.
Are you not under oath? And you are appearing
yeah, but
before...
people lie under oath, Senator Sifuna.
No.
We've seen people mislead this house under oath.
So
I've been here and I've seen us misled even by somebody under oath.
Chair, the only clarification I want to make, Governor should not feel like honesty in the House of Parliament is a favor you're doing at.
No, I'm not doing a favor. I'm doing what I should say.
It doesn't make you you're not special. You are under oath and you have an obligation constitutionally to tell the truth.
But that is exactly what I have done. Are you disappointed that I talked the truth?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying you cannot
claim it.
He
looks like he's disappointed that I
cannot claim it as a badge of honor. You're expected to tell the truth.
Order.
It's an honor to give you the truth,
please,
Senator.
Don't claim it as a badge of honor. You are expected to tell the truth. You are under oath.
But I didn't do so. It is you who is saying so.
Governor,
I didn't say so.
Could you address Senator Sifuna through the chair?
Now he's harassing me.
No. I will make that determination. If I feel
he's now harassing me.
You are harassing the chair by talking when the chair is talking. Please listen to me. I started by appreciating your honesty.
Thank you.
Because other people would have claimed that the money went into general budget support. You have made our work easy. That you raided the KIPES account to finance a border function. And that honesty is important. And members, for us, now it is upon us to make our determination and to make our recommendation. Just 2 days ago, we had a similar case where they raided the deposits account to finance a housewarming for the Speaker's residence. So, I mean, it's just same thing, maybe different flavors. I think, members, let us make a determination on this. The ruling that we gave 2 days ago must be the ruling that we give on this, on the illegality, and the fact that such borrowings cannot be accepted, particularly if it's money that came through the hands of the Senate, because we know KIPES and we know the fight that has been there. We know the fight that we have put up so that that money is not withdrawn at the center. So I don't think any protracted argument is going to change the facts. It was an illegality. It was to be refunded, but even that refund would not cure the illegality. That refund was not done, but now we have an idea on what the money did. It was not for Mandazi, it was for borders.
But Chair, that clarity on, because we are aware how many exchequer releases have gone to Embu County since May of 2025. We need an explanation as to why refunding this money to KIPES is not a priority, including, Chair, when we were in Mombasa just recently. The Treasury showed us a disbursement schedule, and I believe there was money that was released to Embu County this month. So how is it not a priority to refund something? And it is you've already broken the law. You are not in any hurry to repair the damage that has been done from a legal perspective.
So Governor, perhaps it would be neater, either you or your officers, now that the refund has not been done, to give us some commitment to which we can hold you accountable.
Chair, I'm promising you with the release that we have right now, because there's some release that came, we are going to fully refund the 10 million.
Okay. So then members, as we are doing our report and sending our report to the House, will determine what to do with the illegalities.
Chair, also, we realized that it was an illegality, and I want to promise that going forward, that is not going to happen again in Embu County. It's the first time we did it, I think under immense pressure, but we will never do it again.
I think that's good.
I want to promise that going forward.
No, that's good enough in terms of a submission. We will, when we are writing our report, we will determine what to do with that illegality.
Chair, there is a difference between somebody who breaks the law, not knowing that they are breaking the law, but somebody who knows this is illegal and they go and do it, and then they come and tell us here stories about honesty. Those ones must be subjected to even more severe punishment than the people who do break the law out of ignorance of the law. These are those criminals who know they are breaking the law. These ones, remember.
The power is in our hands.
They say the law is no excuse.
The power is in our hands, honorable senators, and that is why I said today we are not doing an audit. Today we are establishing the facts so that we can recommend the action that must be taken. Senator Mundigi.
Yeah, yangu ni kusema mnajua saini saa saba ni wakati wa njaa imeingia. Sasa rafiki yangu ako juu, gavana ako juu, mimi naomba dialogue.
Mimi siko juu.
Sawa. Mimi naomba dialogue kwa sababu gavana wamekubali pesa ilitumika na ni makosa imepatikana. Ile kitu muhimu katika ulimwengu ni mambo ya dialogue. Bora gavana apatiwe time, aende arudishe pesa before muweke recommendation. Bora tu ni yeye aseme atakaa muda gani kama amerudisha pesa. Hiyo ni kitu kidogo. Yes, makosa ilifanyika.
We have undertaken, we are going to refer that money immediately. It goes through the COB.
Okay. No. We need to close this. I need to provide guidance that Senator Mundigi is, you're a friend of the committee, not a friend of the governor in this current setup. So don't forget that. Asante sana. Can we proceed to the next one?
Maybe just on the appendix 1 on prior year matters is what will happen. Maybe the OAG can guide us. How do we track now that the governor has given a commitment that the 10 million will be returned? Yes. And I'm surprised by the gentleman who said this cash management. You know, unless I need to know what is the qualification of that gentleman. And secondly, can you direct that the OAG maybe in the next 90 days to give us feedback whether this money has been taken back to special purpose account? And finally, to ask Mundigi, this is a constitutional process under Article 229. There is no place for dialogue. Dialogue, we can do it in the village, but here is Article 229. Consideration.
No, okay. I think we need to proceed. We have had enough information on this matter for us to be able to do a recommendation to the House. Let's go to the KEMSA debt and reconciled KEMSA debt. OAG, you had updated that this has now been reconciled.
Yes, Chair.
So let's not spend too much time on it. On voided transactions, there were 862 transactions amounting to 313 million that were voided. OAG, we had asked you to confirm whether the voided transactions related to approvals that had been granted by the controller of budget.
Chair, I wish to confirm that the voided transactions had not been approved by the COB.
Okay, so honorable members, unless there's a residual matter on that, we had gotten the brief earlier, we can proceed to the next section on emphasis of matter. We shall take note of budgetary control and performance and go straight to pending accounts payable. Here, I think we'll spend a few minutes because it is a matter of concern. OAG.
Thank you, Chair. Pending accounts payable. Review of the budget revealed that an amount of Kenya shillings 100 million was allocated for the settlement of pending bills against a total outstanding balance of 2,207,376.10 shillings, disclosed in the audited accounts for the year ended 30th June 2024. An analysis of the aging schedule of pending bills revealed that the current year payables balance total to Kenya shillings 1,560,148,304, while the outstanding payables balance for the last financial year was Kenya shillings 1,520,000. 21,621,076. This represents 38,527,228 or 3% increase in the pending bills from the financial year 2023-2024. Further audit review of the payable schedules revealed that as at the end of the third quarter of the financial year, the outstanding balance of the accounts payable was Kenya shillings 1,748,082,570. This indicates that the payables were not settled as first charge on the budget. Failure to settle bills during the year in which they relate distorts the financial statements and adversely affects the budgetary provisions for the subsequent year to which they have to be charged. I submit.
Governor, your response?
The management has endeavored to settle the accounts payable through budgetary provision as well as deliver development to the residents in the year under review. There was, however, an additional bill of 333,718,734.46 attributed to the shortfall in own source revenue. Appendix 3, movement schedule.
Auditor. What's your opinion?
Chair, we have two issues here. We wish to confirm with the COB if at all this the amount that was also, they have also captured in their books as outstanding bills for Embu. And number two, they need to give us the current status on how much they have paid.
COB, do you have applied your mind to it?
Yes, Chair.
Okay.
I wish to report that the County Executive of Embu, their pending bill is at 30th June of 2025 stood at 1,746,909,550. And this pending bill has been broken down 184,654. So making a total of 1.746B. So this data is based on self-reporting by the entity. Thank you.
Chair, I'm a bit confused. The document that the governor has referred us to at Appendix 3 has totally different figures. The thing I noticed about that document, though, is that it doesn't have a date. Maybe the governor can clarify to us what is the date. There's no date on this Appendix 3. These figures are as of what date? Because the COB is giving us a different story. And secondly, if the governor can explain to us what she makes of the requirement that pending bills be a fast charge on the county revenue. What does that mean to her understanding?
Chair, in addition, if the governor can note down from the audit query that is here is that 2.2 billion, but 2.2 billion was the pending bill in the years under review. I've seen the budget revealed that an amount of 100 million had been allocated to pay yearly. So looking at even 1.7 billion that COB has alluded to, it will, if you allocate 100 million budget, that payment of of 1.5 billion will be paid longer until Senator Mundigi would have gone to retirement. So what strategy is the governor putting in place to ensure, because governor, I agree, this could be the pending bill of the previous governor. But you have to agree with me, there are many businessmen and women who are suffering because of this pending bill. You and me know that. So what strategy have you put in place to ensure, at least realistically, in the next 2 to 3 financial year, God willing, you will be re-elected, and I believe so, you are able to sort out this in 2 to 3 years, that is under the financial year. So this 100 million, don't you think it's too little for the for ensure that this 1.7 billion can be paid as of what the COP are saying? And I know you are businessmen and women of Embu are watching, especially the people you owe this
0.2 billion. And the first thing we did was to form a verification, a pending bills verification committee to help identify which were genuine pending bills and which were not. And out of that, it went down to 1.4 billion because the rest could not be verified. Either there were no documents, or if you went to the ground to look at the actual work done, you'd find nothing has been done, yet somebody wants to be paid. So that has been, I think, a back and forth conversation between us and Council of we know to be the actual position. And I think it's an issue that has been discussed repeatedly in our IBEC meetings over the pending bills issue, saying, can we reconcile these pending bills, because we have also done our own internal audit to confirm what is genuine, what is not. Be that as it may, it's important that I say, in the actual amount of money trying to clear these pending bills, we have paid, I had about 558 million pending bills of staff remittances that had not yet been remitted accordingly. We've been able to clear all that. We had heavy pending bills with KEMSA, and we were able to pay close to 300 million. We went further now to start paying the pending bills by individual contractors, which we still continue to pay, except that it's still a struggle, because at the end of the day, if I say that my development vote is anything between 1.7 to 2 billion on the maximum. So if I'm to focus purely on paying those pending bills, for sure, I'll never do anything in the county in terms of my projects and programs that I had promised my people. So it's usually a very tough balance between paying historical pending bills and still staying true to one's manifesto. And that is why this financial year we reduced it, because we realized we've been spending so much money trying to clear these pending bills in the past 3 years, but we don't seem to be going very far. And yet here we are, an election is around the corner, and I must deliver. So those are the challenges we have, but I want to undertake that we'll try and enhance this amount in the next financial year. I know what balance between making sure our development agenda does not die off, as well as paying these pending bills, Chair.
Just off the top of your head, Governor, first I needed clarity on the Annexure 3. It doesn't have a
yes,
date.
Let me ask the Chief Officer, please, and your team, if you could clarify the dates.
As he answers, because you have painted a picture there that you need to balance between development and payment of these bills. Most of these pending bills actually arise from projects, which is what people interpret as development. Maybe you'll give us, what is the spread like in Embu in terms of how much, what percentage of your entire revenues are you utilizing on development, and what percentage are you at with recurrent expenditure?
Through the governor, Chair, we comply with the requirement of the 70-30% rule of the PFM. Thank you.
So just give the figure, give the average percentages.
Average percentage.
Last financial year.
The absolute or the percentage?
Percentage.
Percentage.
The percentage, the actual or the budgeted?
My brother, how much, what percentage of the revenues of your county do you use on development in the last financial year?
30%.
So 30% is going to development, 70% to recurrent?
Yes.
The picture might be different, Prof. Looking at your financial statements, 33% goes to compensation. You've got a huge chunk that goes to health facilities. In fact, there's a huge surplus at the bottom, which we must put into context. But from the question of Senator Sifuna, I think he's trying to find out whether employee cost is putting pressure on you.
Certainly.
But it is not.
Certainly, I found it at 50, almost 52%.
At 52.
Yes.
So now it is at 30. Is 33 the correct?
If you say, I mean, you know, it's still there because you can't go sacking people.
No. Let's get the exact percentage, because the numbers here indicate 33. But is that
what? 33 for what?
On compensation? Is that the reality?
PE, you mean?
Yes.
When you say compensation?
Yes, compensation of employees. Your financial statements
here.
It
is not that, no. We have a huge wage bill that has been there since I came in.
Now, what is the percentage? Give us that
52% thereabout is where we are.
But you see, Governor, it must be supported by the numbers you have here in your financial statements. When we are getting our brief from the Auditor General, we reflected on it. Your total revenue is 5.3 billion. Your employee cost is 1.78 billion. That is 33%.
And Chair, in addition
to what you are... that's not right.
Maybe
these are your numbers.
Let me clarify.
Let the Chief Officer
the first thing to clarify is this Appendix 3 is a send-you of a movement of payables as per what was queried by the auditor, and it is the pending bills that belonged to our suppliers. And what we are
that was not the question. As at what point? Those figures are as at what date?
You are as at 30th June 2025.
You are an accounting professional.
Yes,
how can you put out a movement of pending bills without a date?
It is as at 30th June 2025 as per the narration.
So the COB's figures are wrong, or your figures are wrong?
I think what the Senator's frustration is a clerical error on your side. You have this Appendix 3.
I want to clarify the difference between COB.
Wait a minute. You have this Appendix 3 where none of the columns, none of the rows has a year or a date. It's, I hope you have seen what the problem is.
Okay, yeah.
It is an omission on your side.
On date.
And I think you just need to accept and move on instead of trying to explain.
Accepted.
Okay, proceed.
The other issue is...
Chair, interestingly, what is the qualification of this gentleman who is here with us, and how long has he been serving in Embu? Because he wants to allow us to be on a wild goose chase in every question. Who is he? Can he just introduce ourselves properly so that we handle him at that level?
Okay.
And give us ISPAC number so that the goodness is we have a representative of ISPAC here. Because every question he asks, this guy should be a very good politician because he dodges every question. He avoids every question.
I hope you're not referring to yourself.
No, I'm not referring to myself. I'm saying he has a tendencies of some politicians which I'm not included.
Now, I think I have a duty to protect the witnesses, but it is not an unfair question for the senator to ask who is this person addressing us. I think we are done introductions. Maybe just reintroduce yourself for that comfort.
I'm a qualified certified public accountant, and we ISPAC number 9050, and I have my FERA satisfied accountant.
No, talk about yourself. Leave others out of this.
And
fine. So you're a member of ISPAC. ISPAC is here, so they will take a decision on whether these clerical errors are indicative of professional negligence. But I think let's proceed. Let's go beyond the gentleman.
So the other clarification, Chair, was those figures between what we have reported as a schedule. Here we were responding to the query of the auditor, and these were the suppliers. That is what was queried, and we also note the COB report on global figure, which includes other liabilities or other payables like not statutory staff deductions. So that is why the differences were there. We were responding to what was queried.
Are you also able to address the issue of
The percentages.
No. Let COB, you want to respond to that first before you go to percentages?
COB, thank you, Chair. I'm just having a problem with the numbers because if I look at the governor's response on the amount of pending bill they have settled, it is substantially differs from what has been reported to the COB.
I agree with you, Gashanja. The numbers don't tie. Even if you look at Note 32B, Note 32B, which should be the authority in your financial statements on these movements and on the actuals, the numbers don't tie. Isn't it in Note 32B that you have explained trade and other payables? Isn't that where you are supposed to find the pending bills?
Yes, Chair.
And if you look at the numbers there, they don't tie to any of the numbers that the governor has read.
No.
And so at the end of this, we'll put the question, what was your actual pending bills as at the close of that financial year? Because the COB has a different number, you have a different number, the financial statements have a different number, the budget also had a different number.
So, Chair, we will undertake to reconcile those documents. We will undertake to reconcile those documents.
No, there must be a reason why they're not trying. You as an accountant,
no, there was
this financial statement.
The only explanation is timing difference, because you could see there were some processes we made after the year closed. Because of that window that we are usually given by the Treasury. So
and that is why you didn't put a date on this document, so that you can give us that clever explanation. Because we are talking about the close of a financial year, which is a definite date. The same date that the COB is using, the same date that is in the financial statements.
Yeah, Governor, you are just a minute, just so that we agree on the numbers that perhaps you're quoting. Assuming that your numbers in Appendix 3 are the numbers that you own. Are these the numbers that you can support, the ones in Appendix 3?
Yes.
Then you have numbers in Note 32B, which were certified. That is 1.7 billion. Your number here is 1.5 billion. So which one do we use?
And I've explained this sendo is for suppliers. The difference is other payables, and I've only stated that there were payables.
The total for suppliers here is 1.527.
Yes.
1.527.
Yes.
Not 1.56.
Yes.
So you still have a gap of 33 million.
Also, Chair, see even the confusion, Governor. Look at the title of that document, Appendix 3. You have not made that distinction that this is only for suppliers. You have said summary analysis of pending bills movement, which in my layman's understanding, I'm not an accountant, is a summary of all pending bills.
We have indicated it is suppliers, and we were responding to the auditor's query.
Look at the top there after Embu County Government. Can you read it for us, unless...
It is the title.
What is it saying?
As per the auditor's query.
Just read the title.
Summary analysis of pending bills movement for suppliers.
My friend, you are going to cause yourself problems, and you are going to misuse our time. Just 3 minutes ago, you accepted that there is a clerical error here, and you continue arguing as if this is a perfect document. Do we take this as a perfect appendix, or you are owning up that there are some descriptions that were omitted? Because that's Sifuna's frustration.
Okay, some descriptions not correct.
Yes, so don't be defensive when your own document has a clerical error. Ispak, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, Chairman, I saw the line he was taking that it will open even more queries, because the schedule that has been given here, if you compare with that, the financials on page 2, then we are having a figure of 15,521, which is captured here as opening. So if we go further, we'll say now the closing they have given here is as 1560, as at what date? So I see a gap. Maybe we just close on that topic. It has a lot of gaps that maybe the county and the auditors here will have to address.
So, is that normal within your profession?
It's not.
Okay, so what is the figure? What figure do we take, what do we report to the House as the total, nowadays they're not called pending bills, nowadays they're called trade and other payables, isn't it?
Yes, Chair.
So what figure do we take to the plenary as the closing trade and other payables for Embu County as at 30th June 2025?
1.74, the one that is in the statement, 1.748082,570. The one in financial statement.
What is in the financial statement? Just read that again.
1,748,082,570 as per in the on the tax statement.
Just a minute. That is which one? Which statement is that, CEO? Your statement of financial position has trade and other payables at 1.527 billion. And that excludes the staff payables of 177 million. Isn't that correct? That's what you're trying to explain. So what should be the closing balance? You are not supporting that entry has a closing balance of 1.704 billion. And we are not being petty because a difference of 20 million or 10 million could be pending bills for 20 people. So what is that number? Because it can't be a moving target. This is like election results. It can't be today it's 1.704 and tomorrow it's 1.784. What is a number? And I'm surprised you're deviating. I don't know whether you restated your financial statements because what I have here is 1.704. You have read 1.7 something else.
We can confirm that the auditor has read 1.746.
Auditor, where did you get 1.746 from?
And ours was 1.748.
Where is your, when you say yours, where is it? Which entry, which page is it on the financial statement? Because we are looking at the auditor's report on your financial statements. Auditor, where does your number come from, if it didn't come from here?
Chair, our figure is 1,748,082,570. The 1,446 is for COB.
So your figure, where does it come from?
Financial statements.
Where? Which one? Which entry? Because I'm looking at trade and other payables. It
when
reads,
you go to the financial statement of position, page 2, numerical 2. We have 3 items there: the trade and other payables and refundable deposits and prepayments. If you add those two, should give you 1748,082,570.
sorry, which one do you add?
The trade and other payables, that is not number 32, 1564, 615, 483, plus refundable deposits
15 what?
1,564, 615, 483.
Then we have different financial statements. We have different numbers.
Chair,
Here is 1.527.
27 and 1.521. So we have to.
Are we looking at the same? Because this is a financial statement that was attached to the report of the Auditor General.
Maybe.
Kindly, we are trying to get into our system, but our VPN is not working, so we are working off.
But our clerk can give you the soft copy. Can you send them?
Okay, fine. Members, I think
Chair, there is a question Governor did not answer about the strategy in place to offset this pending bill?
Yeah, actually, that was the next question. That the auditor was saying you had provision 100 million every year.
Every year.
So it would take you 20 years to clear this.
We can look at that because we were asked to share a plan of clearing of pending bills, which we did some time back. But we can review that in the next budget and see how much more we are able to bring in to pay the pending bills, Chair. But I may not be able to give a certain figure right now. But
the budget was 100 million.
Yes, we had put 100 this financial year, but previously we've been putting larger sums of money, Chair.
Senator
Chair, I just wanted our clerks to, if it is possible, to retrieve the motion that was passed by the Senate on pending bills. There was, I think, a requirement and a deadline for payment of pending bills up to 1 billion Kenya shillings.
Up to?
1 billion.
1 billion shillings. There was a deadline that was imposed by the Senate. I hope Kina Malcolm can get it. And secondly, it would have been nice, Chair, I don't know where we can get a breakdown of those pending bills. Because some of these small businesses will be very interested in the conversation that has happened here. That when there is pressure for border events, money will be found, including raiding accounts illegally. But these small pending bills, and I would want to see even the aging analysis for these small businesses. They will be asking, why can't we be given priority as well, just like these functions are being given priority?
Chair, let me report here, and I think it's important.
Just a minute. Let me. I might give you an statement. Governor, relax. 2 days ago, we were here with the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board discussing the accrual basis of reporting. And it emerged that whereas under cash basis, you would have an annexure with all the pending bills, under this reporting format, we don't have that visibility. So Senator Sifuna's concern is something that we had already escalated to the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board, that we want to see the details. So I think before the governor becomes defensive, I just wanted to say that it is something that we have flagged with the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board, that the Senate wants to see the detailed schedule of people who are owed money by county governments. So I wanted to make that clarification. Now you can...
Yes, I wanted to say, Chair, that we have been paying pending bills. Actually, we prioritize the small, because it was easier to deal with the small pending bills than the huge ones. And we in fact, in the task force report, the report of the pending bills verification task force, they did propose that we consider, paying by way of age and also the amounts. And so they had said, try and clear these small ones first so that you have less in terms of the long list that was there. And that's what we've been trying to do, to make sure at least we pay as many as we can, and then making sure within our own term we avoid those pending bills altogether. And so we've been very clear in making sure that we pay up what needs to be paid up by and giving it all the priority.
No, Chair, just clarity. I want to just on a closure, because this 1.7 billion, maybe since this standards board we cannot have a view, would it be not also, if we get the aging analysis of this pending bill so that it makes our work easier when we are doing the report writing to include recommendation. Finally, I've heard the governor alluding to the verification pending bills committee. Chair, I would want to know, because we have had COB are saying 1.7 billion. I've looked at the financial statements, although the OAG is consulting of 1.5 billion. I would want to know whether in that report, although the governor has not attached here, in that report of the pending bills of 1.7 billion, is there pending bills that were legible or ineligible, or do they agree with what the financial statements are provided? And finally, who are these that were doing verification pending committee? Because we are aware there was a decision in Kitale Court where the power of verification of these pending bills, or now it's called trade and other payables, it was ruled that the Office of the Auditor General is the only one with the powers to do verification of this pending bill. So I don't know whether you have come around with your county attorney, but
we've had this conversation in IBEC so many times that although the Auditor General did come up with a report of pending bills across the counties, many counties had concerns about some of those pending bills, because in our case we visited project by project, one by one. So where there's nothing to pay for, why are you telling me that I should pay if I can't see it on the ground? Those were the issues we've been raising, and maybe this committee might help us really unravel this pending bills discussion, so that we know, do we do a second round where we go on the ground with them and confirm what we saw? Because then why am I paying for something that I have no proof of, or something where there's no document at all to support what it is you're paying for? So that has been a conversation many times, but we have never really gotten to the bottom of it. And perhaps this committee should consider, taking some action along, so that we have some convergence of mind in relation to what really is a pending bill and what can a county pay for.
Governor, technically, this matter was brought to a close this financial year. When you move to accrual, you are to define it. Ideally, you cannot run away from it. Ispak, am I
Even if there's nothing
on the right
to
track?
show of it, because let me give you an example, Chair.
No, just a minute. Let's get, because this year we are looking at balance sheet. We have not looked at the balance sheet for the last 10 years. Now, your accountants have introduced 1.7 billion points with those small differences in your balance sheet. Technically and legally, it becomes a liability.
Yes, Chairman, it is indeed, and that's why the accountants are given some time so that they can be able to review their financials up to 30th August. So when now it comes to this issuance of certificate, we take it as it is, that they have gone through the verification process and certified that this is the true position.
So technically, the matter is resolved that even if the governor wants to do another verification, she'll be verifying the competence of her accountants.
Basically, that is the position, Chairman.
That is where we are this financial year. In the past, we could talk about these things, but now that you have gone accrual, what you have put in your balance sheet as a liability, you must live with it.
Chair, I understand the dilemma that the governor is in, and we have had these conversations with your colleagues from across the other counties on this verification process. And the advice we've given previously is Maybe you pay attention so that.
Could we get your attention so that
Sorry, sorry. Yes.
Yeah. The other resolution we made as a house is that you do not begin any new projects. Any new projects until you're able to clear your pending bills.
You know that is killing us, honestly.
Just a minute. I am just taking you through the resolution, and we did write to you as a house. I have not seen a letter from you saying you are killing us. I don't know why you are telling me now. Governor, that was the resolution of the Senate, not Sifuna, the House. And we communicated this resolution to you. We have not heard from you, either individually or as a council of governors, saying that the resolutions of the Senate are not implementable. You see? That is the sort of relationship we would want with the council, is such that if there is issues like those, you communicate. So I wanted you to confirm. Are you in compliance, first of all, with the resolutions of the Senate as a county government?
Certainly not. I am not, because to tell me that I cannot start any new project until I clear pending bills, and the practicability of it is not possible, because you know, I came in on some promises, on an agenda, and that must be a priority, both to me and the people who voted for me. So to tell me that first pay the pending bills, and if I have a development budget of 1.3 billion, 1.5 billion, then I have to first pay some 2 billion, then is really crippling the work of government. And so that's why I'm saying we need to have very, very candid conversation around this issue. It's not enough to, and while we appreciate that the House, the Senate, you know, will pass resolutions, will pass motions, I think it's good that we have this conversation. And I must say, yes, I admit that I should have written back to say, I don't think this is possible because of 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't do it, and I think now I should. I will actually make sure I do so. But also say, Senator, you asked, have we communicated to these people? What we did after we did the verification, we had a presser, and also we posted that we now have done this. We have some verified pending bills. We are those that are not fully verified because certain documents are missing. Please, if you look at the report, and because we communicated the report also, come and bring the documents. Then, and some people actually brought documents thereafter. So yes, we did communicate, but let me say we didn't do individually to the different contractors.
Now, I've gotten feedback from the OAG about this confusion in numbers. OAG, what is your guidance on the numbers that we should rely on?
We rely on the numbers which are in the financial statements. Although our query was based actually on their own schedules that they had provided to us. We were comparing what was outstanding as at the end of 30th June 2024, which was 2.2 billion. And from their own analysis of the aging analysis provided by the county, the schedule had current payable balances of 1.1 billion 560, 148 304, while the outstanding payables balance as the last financial year was 1 billion 521 621 076. These are trade payables. This represented an increase of 38 billion. So we actually provided our report based on the analysis.
You see that the numbers don't relate to what you have here. Did they resubmit their financial statements?
No, the figures that are there are correct. What we reported on was their analysis, the nitty-gritties. Okay. The analysis provided by the county.
Fine. Let's not get lost in the trees. Let's go back and look at the forest, whether it's COB or OAG or the entity, so that we have an exact number, even if it's a variance of 200, 300, but it cannot be a variance of tens of millions. Number two, Governor, I will repeat this. The fact that your accountants have introduced 1.7 billion in your balance sheet, you must go back and confirm that that is the amount that should be there, because once it is there, I don't know how it can move. ISPAC, once you have 1.7 billion as a liability, it can only move if it has been paid. Not verification, payment.
Yeah, payment.
Yeah, so once...
Or write-off.
Or write-off. So once you have assumed 1.7 billion, then the stories of we are still verifying technically does not suffice. So go back, have that conversation with your team so that you can agree that that is a liability you are carrying. Thirdly, compliance with the resolution of the Senate. We are going to make a similar recommendation, and within 60 days, we'll require you to do what Senator Sifuna has asked, to write back to us, to tell us that you have complied, and if you cannot comply, give us reasons why. Fourthly, you must scale up your ambition. And I think you have also agreed that 100 million a year might not resolve this problem. So we leave that to you in your supplementary, your budgeting, your county assembly, because you had said you have your priorities and your programs as a governor. But those priorities and programs must also be consistent with the law that requires spending bills to be a fast charge, that requires staff payables to be settled, that requires retentions and close it away.
Pending bill yote ilipwe. Nakumbuka hiyo tulikuwa tunang'ang'ana naye, lakini hiyo ndio uliona sisi county zile 14 wakati tulikuwa nasema mtuongezee pesa. Embu iko na 4 sub counties, sio kama Nairobi iko na sub county 11. Sasa wakati governor aliingia, alikuta pending bill hiyo inasemekana 2.2, alafu unakuta hata wafanyikazi hawakuwa wanalipwa pesa juu ya pesa ya useni, ikawa kuna deni about 500 million. Ile najua hizo alilipa ndio wafanyikazi waweze kutulia kazini. Kwa hivyo ile pesa kulingana na mimi najua governor anafaa alipe hizo pending bill, lakini najua atangangana kwa sababu mwaka huu mlifanya vizuri, zile county 10, zile county nyingi kuwa ni mmoja wawe ile pesa tulipata. Najua kama Embu tumepata around 600 million. Kwa hivyo sio natetea nearest, ilikuwa nearest. Sio natetea nearest. Sio natetea governor, lakini ni kusema budget inakuja. Chairperson, mpaka governor counties zile kidogo iweze kupatiwa pesa nyingi ndio iweze kumaliza pending bill, ndio tuweze kuendelea na mambo ya development. Kwa sababu counties zingine zinaumia. Embu County ilikuwa haina chochote, ilikuwa na shinda nyingi, na ndio naona tuko na changamoto ya shinda kwa hii mambo ya audit.
Mimi naona tusifungue mjadala. Naona tusonge mbele.
You know, Mundigi is reminding us of the things we have done to help these county governors to be able to deal with these issues. In fact, part of the explanation we got from the so-called smaller counties was that they would ensure, in fact the debate was how do we ring fence this additional money so that the people of these small counties can actually benefit, so that we don't end up again, you have added extra money, instead of us paying pending bills, we are hiring new staff and adding to the wage bill. So it is a critical conversation, and this week, Chair, we've been dealing with an issue here which you framed as contempt of parliament. It has reminded me of another conversation you had with the COG on this question of remittances to the council. That even after the Senate passed a resolution to say that those payments were illegal, the COG comes back to the Senate and says, this is something we cannot do. I think this is the second time that the COG is telling us that we sat as a Senate to pass resolutions in our own wisdom. We thought that this is something that is supposed to help and clog the problems at the grassroots, especially with pending bills. We are now hearing the governor is saying she's going to write to us now to tell us that we were not wise to pass things that cannot be implemented on the ground. Perhaps you should...
I don't think those are the words I would have used. I would not say...
Governor, order. Let's have a conversation. I don't want an exchange.
Yeah, let me just finish, Governor. You know, you are now interrupting my thought process. But the point I was making is, Chair, perhaps we need to trade places. You know, some of our colleagues here want to be governors.